Hello, everyone, in Embracing Health. It's Dr. Kim, and I wanted to share with you this process that I've used for years now. Whenever I feel really, really stuck or like energy's not moving around something and I want to feel like in a more expansive space, but I'm like really, really, really feeling the contraction of the space that I'm in. And I used this a few weeks back. It's a process I adopted from Esther Hicks. She shared this in her book, Abraham. So she sort of channels a higher level of consciousness. And it looks like this. It's called the focus wheel. And I've shared this before, but I'm going to share really specifically what this was like for me. I had a client on a private call this week, and something similar was coming up for her. So I shared this exact page, and it was super, super helpful for her. So I thought I would share it with the group as well. So what I'll do is if I'm feeling really, really contracted about something. So that morning, something really triggered me. And I felt like, we were going on this trip and taking our family to Disney, and I was super excited about the trip. And I could tell, a couple months before when I booked the trip, there was a little contraction over like, oh, should we be investing in this trip? Should we be taking this time off? Should we be doing it this way? And whatever that doubt was, I knew, I'm really aligned with this. This is the right timing. We're going to do this. And so I made the choice and we made the investment. And it wasn't complete, because when we actually got on the plane that morning, this came up again, like, oh, it wasn't a guilt, but it was more like, I don't deserve to just totally enjoy this trip. And the luxury of having these, I think it was like 4 or 5 days. And we went to a wedding and we took my daughter away. We stayed at this beautiful resort. And so it was like this little nagging thing. But that morning, it really, really felt contracted. And I was sitting on the plane like, geez, I'm not enjoying myself and I want to feel really expansive. So I let that go and I did this process, and it helped move the energy so much to move through whatever was still sort of stuck around really embracing my life fully, that yes, I get to have it all, that I'm having a new baby and I have my happy daughter and my amazing marriage, and yes, it really can be that good. So anytime for me, there's an expansion into something more, the little pieces that are ready to move around that will come up and it can feel really contracted. So what I'll do is I'll make a circle and I'll write in the center what I want to embrace, the space I want to move into, whether it's I am totally free and joyful, healthy. This one was I am sufficient, prosperous, and abundant, that all things can come to me with ease. So it can be anything that really embodies the core of what you're wanting to move into. And then you do 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, all the way around the clock. I don't know how many I put, but you just kind of, you could do it like a regular clock, but I'll just do it until I feel better. And this is what I shared on each number of the clock. I'll write down something that's a higher level of prosperity, abundance, freedom, what I'm moving toward, but that's still something that I can grasp onto in that moment. So in that moment, it feels like a million miles away and a huge impossibility that I actually feel or live the essence of I am sufficient, prosperous, and abundant. It's like I'm a million miles away from that. But as I go around the focus wheel, each statement that I'll write down will bring me closer, closer, and closer. So the first one that I wrote was, I've definitely been this low before, and always I have come into a higher place. So you just take a few deep breaths, percolate with that one. That's lighter than where I was currently feeling and moving on the way toward this more expansive space. You don't want to put anything that you can't percolate with. That's like, that's not even true. That's totally false. I'm not buying it. Got to do it something that's close enough that you can start to vibe with it. So that was my first step on the focus wheel. The second one was, I have many resources that are available to me. So just breathe in, breathe out, and let that kind of integrate, feeling the prosperity of that, feeling the lightness of that. The next one I wrote was, I am willing to move through this as never before. So breathe in and breathe out and feel into that even though it's really dense and heavy, I am willing to embrace this, no matter what it takes, no matter what it means, no matter how long, as never before. There's more space for me. The next one I wrote is, this energy has been there for a long time and it is ready to move now. So whatever those old energies were of like lack or doubt or whatever was kind of like that heaviness, it's been there for a long time. Now is when it's ready to move. It's been here my whole life. Today is the day that I'm expanding into something far enough beyond it that the dissolution of that energy is ready to happen. So it's more of an appreciation of that part of the process. That lightened up the energy. Breathe in, breathe out. Percolate with that for like 15 to 20 seconds. The next thing I wrote as I'm coming around the focus wheel, I wrote, this is exactly what I've been asking for, to move forward in new ways and be free. So I had the acknowledgement, this is freeing me as never before. And even though this feels so grungy and heavy and stuck, this is exactly what I've been asking for. So I can, again, appreciate the contraction. The next one I wrote is, this is a completion of that old scarcity and emergency fear. So I was really recognizing like, wow, I actually lived in that state for years where I didn't let myself have what I needed, and then life reflects it, right? It's not available. It doesn't show up. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough freedom. I can't just jet off on a plane and have this incredibly joyful experience. No, that's not allowed. So this is a completion of that old energy as I emerge into something new. Certainly that's a lighter, higher frequency. The next one I wrote, I am in it now, and every breath allows this to transmute more and more fully. So sometimes when I'm in the depth of this contraction, I remember like, I'm really in it. I'm in that bottom grungy, mucky layer that I'm ready to release. And when I'm in it is when I can really allow it to move the most. So just breathing in and breathing out is all that's required to really make massive, massive strides in expanding and releasing that energy. Certainly feeling better and lighter already. And then I wrote, it's okay that I'm experiencing this now. Well, that was a lot later because, you know, sometimes what I used to do to myself would be like, hey, you should be enjoying yourself. You have this and you have that and you have nothing to worry about and you're on a plane, you're going away with your family, you should be happy. But that's like such a resistance, and that will just lock you back into duality and prevent the expansion that you think you shouldn't feel what you're feeling. So just acknowledging it is totally okay that I'm experiencing the depth of this gunky, mucky, whatever right now. The next one is, it's the perfect timing as I expand into more for me and for my family and for my new child. So I breathe in, breathe out. This is the perfect thing that could be happening as I'm emerging into more in my life, which is what we're always doing every day. The next section says, it's okay as long as this takes to move through this. So I gave myself permission, like, Kim, it's okay as long as it takes. We have space. I'm willing to be in this. So greater willingness, more energy moves. The next one I wrote, I have everything I need now to go through this. So just acknowledging it's all in place. I have everything I need. It is an inevitability, and it's okay to allow this. I have everything I need to go through this. The next one I wrote, I will call on inner resources as never before. So really feeling my strength. Like maybe the last time I've ever moved through a layer of this energy, I was in a different place. Now I have even more inner resources that I'm willing to call on. And then I wrote, this is my greatest expansion and is worth all of this and more. Moving the energy, breathe in, breathe out. And then the last one I wrote as I came around right at the very top here, I wrote I am fully willing to experience this for my benefit and for the benefit of all mankind. Breathe in, breathe out. Fully willing to experience this for what it's going to contribute to me and for what I know it contributes to all of my world. So that was kind of the heightened point that completed this energy for me, and then allowed me to come back into the center and really embrace the knowing and the embodiment of I am sufficient, prosperous, and abundant. So at that point, I was really resonating with that frequency. So this is how I use the focus wheel. It helped me a lot because on the front end of this, I remember being on the plane and my husband was like, you know, it's okay, and what's going on? And I'm like, don't even touch me, just leave me alone. I was so upset, and he kind of got it and gave me a little space, but I'm like, wow, that was really intense. And coming through this process really helped me a lot to be with what was coming up and to allow the energy to move. And we did have a really beautiful, beautiful vacation. So I wanted to offer that to you and share it with you because I've used that, I can't even tell you how many times, and it's especially useful when I've been in the darkest spaces, the heaviest spaces of despair or depression, or when it just really feels impossible. So with so much love, I am eager to hear your experiences on this, and I'll see you soon.